So let's talk about what's going on and maybe some of the challenges. Erin Buddy is joining us at the table here with Denise DeCou. She's the founder and principal of Loretta's Work. She does a lot of work with inclusion and diversity, and you've been a co-chair on a couple of the committees with STL 250, the Programs History Committee, and the Diversity Committee. And Andrew Wanko, who's with the Missouri History Museum, which has a great exhibit 250 and 250 going on all year long. Erin, I want to go back to you first of all because a couple of weeks ago I was telling people about what was coming up with the 250, and I was telling them about stuff, and they were going, yeah, I hadn't heard that. I hadn't heard that. Are they hearing it now?
I think absolutely. I think that once you have events and tangibles,
and you light a big heart on fire.
And you light a big heart on fire, and you have those kind, and you bring Pokey Lafarge back.
Right.
You know, you really do. You get an easier story to grab onto, and the coverage has been outstanding. Our approach all the way along from the beginning was really to make sure the grassroots was involved. So we have been out there making presentations to chambers of commerce, to fraternal groups, to lodges, to schools, really spreading the word. We did outreach directly to about 3,000 organizations across the 15-county bi-state region, inviting them to become official celebration partners.
That's the stuff
so
that
we've been building.
Yeah, that's the stuff that really doesn't show up. I do want to encourage people to join this conversation because they may have something to say about all this. Hashtag stay tuned, STL. Let me talk to you guys because Andrew, you're a public historian. I'll have to ask you what exactly that means. And Denise, this question of diversity, we always run the danger that this is going to be, let's say, sort of a country club affair, right? We've got corporate sponsors, we've got the people who fund things and they step up. I'm hoping that's not what it's turning out to be.
No, well, in co-chairing the History Committee, one of the things that we did was to ensure that we had a diverse group of people at the committee meetings, and that we were going to be able to engage people across the community in celebrating this 250th anniversary. And so there were opportunities for individuals to apply, to showcase their events. This really is a celebration of the people of St. Louis, and so there are many opportunities going into our website for STL 250 to be able to join in, participate, and celebrate.
Yeah, this isn't just about parties and stuff. There's a lot of things going on in the community. It's on the STL 250 website. Channel 9, by the way, the 9 Network is a media sponsor. We're involved in this as well in our own way. We want this to be diverse. We want this to be community-wide. Andrew, how do you accomplish that?
I think one of the key things that STL 250 has absolutely done correctly is the idea that the people of St. Louis are coming up with their own events. It could be things that they've been doing for years that is particular to their neighborhood or their community group, or it could be brand new things that they're coming up specifically with for the 250th anniversary celebrations. But the key with that is not, here, we're gonna produce this thing for you. We're gonna feed you this forgettable thrill. It's that they are responsible for making connections with each other. I think the biggest hope is that neighborhoods and community groups are going to make connections with other neighborhoods, community groups, interest groups, and start cross-cultural, interest gap filling.
Do you guys see that happening?
Yes, well, we were very intentional in our committees to ensure that we were bringing in the voices of people from all across the St. Louis region.
I mean, people are always worried their story is going to be left out of this, right?
Right. And so we've created opportunities for youth to become involved, for grassroots organizations to be involved, not-for-profit organizations, the corporate community, as well as our arts and cultural institutions. And so we have extended invitation. We have actually created access and provided resources for anyone who is interested in becoming involved to do so. And we're also looking for individual stories. We want the people to be able to tell the stories of their history, of their families, going generations back.
Is that
to be
what
able to
people
get
are saying
involved.
if they're hearing about this? Are they now coming? I know, Aaron, you guys, all of you were trying to get people involved. After this gets going, do you get some new people coming in saying, hey, can we do this? Can we do that?
Yeah, it's been really exciting to see the people stepping forward now that they have seen things going on and know that we're going to be continuing. But it does date all the way back to, was it February, Andrew, when we launched the Facebook page?
Yeah,
Those
A year ago,
stories,
right?
yeah,
Yeah.
and that involvement from this day in St. Louis history and this birthday of the day, people have been sharing their stories with us through Facebook for 12 months.
I got to ask you, I've got to ask you about the cakes before I forget.
Okay.
250 cakes spread throughout the entire metropolitan area, not just St. Louis City. You're a little behind schedule, I imagine. Weather was not
Weather was
helping
a
you
little bit,
out?
yep. So we hit our schedule to announce the 250 locations during the birthday weekend, and so now we're getting them installed. And what we're finding is it's actually creating some really nice buzz as people are finding new cakes that are getting installed every day. We have about 70 out there. But going back to your conversation about diversity and community involvement, we were very, very deliberate in the process of choosing where these 250 cakes would go so that we could make sure that they represented the 15 county bi-state region. So we had geographic dispersion, we had diverse group dispersion, we had different heritage and faiths and cultures considered, as well as natural and built environment. So we were very mindful of, if we're going to mark 250 places and help tell a story, and it's really just one story of St. Louis, that would be the most diverse story that we could possibly tell.
I've seen the list. It's an interesting list. A couple of my nominations made it. It wasn't
That's great.
other people, I imagine, nominated the same things. I'm wondering for all of you guys, at the end of the year, and we're talking really the end of 2014 for this 250th anniversary, what does success look like to you guys at the end of this year? What do you want to see done?
I think success for us is going to look like vast communities engaged in this celebration of 250 years and the telling of stories of people from very diverse backgrounds on their lives here, the celebration of their families, of the histories that their families hold, and the opportunity for them to be able to share that with others. It's a rich story, and one that so many communities get to tell about their founding, about why people live where they live and what's important about that.
Andrew, for you guys, I mean, besides getting a lot of people to come through the museum, right?
Yeah, I think just speaking personally to me, the one thing that I hate to say is a problem in St. Louis is we're a city of harsh divisions, and that has always been a problem for St. Louis. So if even one person sees this stuff and discovers some sort of flavor they didn't know their city had, or finds a reason to go into a neighborhood they had never been in before in their lives. As a kid who grew up in the county and sort of from a young age was sort of afraid of the city, now like coming in and fully embracing the city, I kind of understand that feeling of discovering, I didn't even know this was here.
And I think the cakes will really help that.
And absolutely, yeah. So if this can become a tool, if people can see these things on the sidewalk and all of a sudden notice something that they had walked past a million times before and not ever taken notice, that would be the ultimate goal for me.
We're going to talk.